Okay, so hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the do's and don'ts with a glass tip pen. I get tons of questions all the time about glass tip pens. So I'm going to start by the don'ts. So first you want to start off by, you want to make sure that you don't start using your pen without checking the nib for cracks. So it could have gotten damaged. Usually they're packaged pretty well, but you always want to check really closely and see if there's any cracks or chips in your glass tip pen, because if you don't check it before you even start, then how will you know if you chipped it or if it got chipped during shipping? That's a tongue twister. So you just want to make sure that you check it, because if you don't, the nib won't function well if there is a chip in it. Okay, number 2 is going to be, don't start using it without wiping down your nib from any dust or debris. So I always get like a paper towel and I start by first wiping it, and I kind of hold my fingers, pinch it, and then go with the grooves. So in the direction, because they kind of go in like a swiveled motion, I just pinch it with my 2 fingers and kind of twist the pen and wipe it along with it. So don't start using it without wiping your nib down from any dust or debris. So another don't is, don't use an ink with too thick of glitter. So this one actually has, I don't have too many inks that have like really thick glitter. So this one has some finer glitter, but sometimes if you don't shake it enough or if it is too thick, I mean, it sounds like it would be beautiful, but what it does is it can clog up these chambers right here and not allow the ink to flow down the chamber properly. So you can get a lot of blobs, or you can get times where it's not even flowing at all. Sometimes if you do have something thick, I would water it down, or not water it down in the bottle, but put it in maybe a separate dish and then add just a little bit of water to thin it down. But mind you, it's not going to be as bright and vibrant if you do add water. Okay, another don't is, do not throw away this little plastic protector. I almost made the mistake of doing this because it was on the ground and I almost just tossed it. But this thing is perfect. It fits perfect on here. And even if you don't store it in the protective container, the nib stays pretty protected because of this little, I don't know how to describe it. It feels like a rubbery tube material, but it protects it really well. And this can extend the life of your glass tip pen for a long time, at least the nib part. If you crack something down here, it might be a safety concern, but not, it won't affect the functionality of it. Okay, and the last don't is, don't just buy the cheapest glass pen that you can find. Do your research. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I can get a cheaper one on eBay or Amazon. And okay, that's great and everything, but I have tried a couple different glass pens and they did not work. It didn't matter what I did. It just wouldn't work. And the reason being is because the design of the chamber. So make sure, if you are going to look for, trust me, I like looking for deals too, but you always want to read the reviews because you want to make sure that it's a good pen. You don't want to waste your money even if it's cheap. I actually almost gave up on using glass tip pens because I thought these things just don't work, period, or maybe I'm doing something wrong. And so then I went with a company that was actually reputable, and then realized, okay, I like these things. They actually do work. So when you get it working right, or you get the right pen, then you will love the results. Okay, so now on to the do's. So you do want to make sure that when you dip your pen, that you do give it one little swipe on the edge. That way there's usually one glob that will come off, so that way you are ready to go. And another thing too, another do is to keep your pen stored in a safe place. So I usually put it back in the container, the padded container, which it fits perfectly. Also making sure I have the protector on it. Because sometimes, even if you have it stored in like a pen container, if you just barely hit this, it could break. So just be very careful. I always prefer just putting it in the padded container and putting it away. So another do is to hold your pen like you typically would hold and write with a pen. Sometimes you might think that you have to hold your pen completely vertical like this in order to get good results, but that actually makes it more difficult. It's easier to just hold your pen like you would normally hold a pen. Okay, and then another thing too is sometimes we get sidetracked and forget to clean our pen. But what you do want to do is make sure you clean your pen before you put it away. If not, what happens is the ink will dry on this chamber, and it does make it extremely difficult to clean up. So what I usually do is swirl it in water. And again, if you have a glass, like I always use ceramic water cups, be careful that you don't scrape it on the bottom because you can damage your nib that way too. So I just swish it around in some water, and same thing, I just dry it, squeeze it, and then twist, and then that will dry it. So you just want to make sure that you clean your pen thoroughly before you put it away. Otherwise you will get some debris left on there. Like, see, I have a little bit of gold on there, which will probably come off, but it just allows everything to flow better if you make sure it's clean. Another do is to make sure that you use multiple colors. That is what the beauty of the glass tip pen is that you can easily change colors. So you can dip it. I did just a tiny little swipe. So you can write something. Okay, and then now let's say I want to write something else. We're going to clean it, swipe it in the water, and I always dry it first, because if you leave it wet like this, then you're basically adding water into the next ink that you're dipping. So I dry it, make sure it's dry, and also you don't want to mix the colors either. And then I'll dip into the other colored ink and start writing. This is just a light purple color. So I just want to make sure that you do, if you use a glass tip pen, make sure you do try and change colors, because that's the beauty of this. It's not like a pen with the cartridge where you have to wait until the cartridge runs out or change the cartridge. It's super easy to just clean it, use a different color. So do make sure you try that with the glass tip pen. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have other questions about glass tip pens, please let me know, because I get tons. I hope this answered a lot of those. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.